I'm starting to redefine what success looks like during this rebuilding process I'm going through because I'm realizing that pushing harder may not actually be the thing that helps me change. Wow. For most of my life, I thought growth was supposed to feel terrifying or even painful, like white knuckling my way through overwhelm and forcing myself to keep going. But I'm starting to realize that may not actually be growth at all. In fact, it's probably why I keep feeling stuck. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm sharing my journey of rebuilding my life as a solo over 50. I recently downsized my whole life and moved to a new state all by myself. I'm starting over from practically nothing in just about every area of my life. And to be completely honest, it's been exciting and wonderful, and in a lot of ways, really, really tough. I wanted to share my experiences and my life lessons in hopes of helping people who are going through similar processes in midlife and beyond. So the first time I ever went skiing, I went straight up to the top of the mountain and had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I thought, how hard can it be, right? It was actually terrifying, embarrassing, and quite frankly, dangerous. I'm lucky someone didn't get seriously injured. You see, I've been rebuilding my life on my own for about 5 years now. I've gone through 2 divorces, estrangement and loss of family, empty nesting after raising my quiver full, losing my home, becoming a grandmother, and a few other major midlife transitions. Then I went back to college, I got my bachelor's degree, and my first real career job at the age of 53. This last January, I quit my job and relocated to Colorado. So in February, I finally decided that I need to get serious about rebuilding my life in a way that's going to be fulfilling and sustainable for me, even beyond my retirement years. I had never even thought about retirement, and it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So rebuilding my life is starting to make me realize that I might have been approaching growth the same exact way that I approached learning to ski. In my attempt to understand my own process in this experience, I have created some visual aids to help me explain what I was doing before and what I'm learning to do differently now. I call these my old model and my new model. So just bear with me a minute while I walk you through some slides that I created. Okay, this first one is what I'm calling the old model. So my old way of reinventing myself usually started with an overly ambitious vision for overhauling my entire life. Can anyone relate? I hope so. I bet you can. I would create these detailed systems and plans that were supposed to solve everything. I mean, I saw everybody else doing it. It seemed like everybody knows what they were doing, and if they could do it, I could too. As long as I followed my plan perfectly. So at first I would feel, of course, motivated and excited because I had this new wonderful plan. But pretty quickly it would turn into dread and fear. The fear of failing once again, the dread of trying to force myself into some kind of robotic, ultra-disciplined life that, to tell you the truth, didn't actually feel true and sustainable to me. I knew I didn't have the discipline. So then when I started feeling overwhelmed or afraid, my inner drill sergeant would take over. Can any of you relate with this? I bet you can. The message was basically, ignore those feelings, push harder, don't stop. And if you do fail, well, it just means that you weren't disciplined enough. Now, of course, because I had invested so much in this system and creating this system and imagining a new life, I felt like I had to force myself to keep going no matter what. So I would override my fears, my exhaustion. I would push as hard as I could because I believed progress meant going all in and pushing past my limits. Never even recognizing that, of course, I have limits. I'm a human. So I would ignore my overwhelmed nervous system and force myself forward until I eventually became exhausted and, of course, quit once again. So then after that collapse comes shame, demoralization. I would start believing the problem was who I was as a person. I didn't just feel like I had failed that system. I started to believe there was something fundamentally wrong with me, that I just wasn't capable of being consistent or functioning like a normal adult. Eventually, I would become so uncomfortable with where my life was once again and feeling behind that I would decide to try again. Honestly, trying again is one of my strengths. It's like my superpower. But back then, trying again meant that I was just restarting the same cycle with a new plan and even more pressure. So now let's talk about why that is the old system, why it failed, why it was never going to succeed no matter how hard I tried. So for most of my life, I thought change required intensity. I believed the answer was to become a better version of myself, come up with a better system, a stricter plan, that more disciplined, perfect version of myself that could just finally bring everything together, get it under control. Of course, in the beginning, that always felt exciting. I'd feel hopeful and energized, imagining how different my life was about to become. Have you ever been there? If so, I would love to hear about this. I would really love to know that I'm not the only one that puts myself through this repeatedly. And of course, after a while, the pressure of maintaining that ultra-disciplined version of myself would start to just feel so heavy and exhausting. I thought I had to completely overhaul my life overnight, and actually, I thought for some reason that I could. Of course, on the inside, I felt like Every warning light and emergency alarm was going off. And to be honest, I was totally exhausted. Well, instead of seeing those feelings as important information, I treated them like obstacles that needed to be overcome through more discipline. I believed growth meant pushing through discomfort no matter what. No pain, no gain, right? That's what I grew up on, even when my mind and my body were clearly struggling. Eventually, of course, I would hit a wall, I'd burn out, I'd abandon the plan, and then feel deeply discouraged afterward. But no matter how defeated I felt, eventually I would have to try again. I was in this double bind. I couldn't stay the way that I was, but every plan that I tried just fell apart and I'd have to start over again. I always had hope. I think what I'm realizing now is that hope just isn't enough. Not if you're going to keep rebuilding your life using the same exact approach every time. So this finally dawned on me that I needed a new approach. So I'm going to go back to my skiing metaphor. I think I can explain where I'm at in this rebuilding process by really diving into that first experience that I had with skiing. As you may know, I am a visual person, and the way that I learn is through metaphors and visual graphics. And so this part really helped me grasp why this wasn't working for me and possibly what I needed to do next. So back to my skiing analogy. The very first time I went skiing, like I said, I went straight to the top of the mountain without any lessons, without any practice. And of course, I thought, how hard could it be? I've seen other people skiing on TV. I've seen my friends skiing. I mean, it looks so easy, so effortless, so fun. In real life, for me, it was terrifying. I felt completely out of control. I went straight down. I didn't know how to stop or turn safely. I was lucky someone didn't get seriously hurt. And you know what? I came away from that experience believing for so many years that I hate skiing. Well, fast forward about 25 years, and I went back to skiing on a family skiing trip and decided to take a beginner lesson. Wow. I spent time on the bunny slope. I learned how to slow down. I learned how to stop safely. And that completely changed my experience. I realized I don't actually hate skiing. It was actually kind of fun. What I hated was feeling out of control and unsafe. So I thought about this, that rebuilding my life was starting to feel pretty similar to that. I'm learning now how to challenge myself without overwhelming my system. I'm beginning to learn how to go just far enough outside of my comfort zone to grow while still knowing I can slow down, I can adjust, I can stop before I push myself into collapse. This is like, I'm beginning to understand that there is a new way that I can approach this midlife rebuild. Talk about excitement. In my new model, I'm trying to start more gently. I'm going to focus on what actually feels meaningful to me instead of chasing every goal that's based on pressure, it's based on comparison or external expectations, what everybody else thinks and wants for me, and maybe those invisible social expectations that I put on myself. Right now, a slower, more sustainable way of living feels both safe and genuinely more motivating. You see, the goal isn't to avoid challenge completely. I still want goals that stretch me, but it has to be in a way that feels doable and repeatable instead of overwhelming. Even too many tiny changes at once can overwhelm me. Learning how to feel safe within myself is still very new for me. Practicing self-compassion has probably been the most important part of this rebuild process. I'm starting to realize that self-compassion isn't just about being nice to yourself. It actually helps create that sense of safety that my nervous system needs in order to grow. One of the biggest shifts for me has been realizing that I can lower the bar of success instead of quitting completely. If something starts to feel overwhelming, I can just pull back until the challenge feels manageable again instead of forcing myself until I shut down. For example, instead of pressuring myself to fully enjoy maybe a night out in a new place. Remember, I told you I just moved recently, so I don't know anybody, and pushing myself to find community and go out in public by myself is a little triggering. It's a challenge for me. It often feels overwhelming. So I might simply change my definition of success, meaning that I walk in the door and stay for 15 minutes. That might be all my system can handle. So I'm also learning that sustainable action doesn't mean giving up on my big goals. It just means allowing the daily steps to be as small as they need to be. I don't need to abandon the direction I want to go in my life, but I am learning how to adjust the size of my steps instead of constantly quitting and starting over again. That gets me nowhere. Self-trust is built the same way that trust is built in any other relationship. It's through consistent actions over time. Every time I pay attention to myself, I really listen to what's going on and then make adjustments with compassion and then follow through in a sustainable way, well, I'm slowly proving to myself that I can be trusted, that I'm not going to just push myself through and overwhelm myself. One of the biggest shifts for me has been realizing that success doesn't always have to feel dramatic. It doesn't have to come through a big, painful push. Sometimes success is just showing up, taking one manageable step, and knowing within myself that something hard has become possible because I responded with compassion instead of force. So finally, I am also beginning to realize is that I don't have to completely give up my old patterns before I can feel like I'm succeeding. I can notice those moments where the old cycle is driving the ship, and then I can respond with compassion. You see, making even the smallest shifts toward a healthier way of rebuilding is going to be a successful day for me. Don't get me wrong, I am still learning this new model. This is all brand new to me. I'm still somewhere in between the two, but I no longer believe success only counts once I've mastered everything perfectly. I think success can also look like practicing a different response, one small moment at a time. That's success. So in closing, I am starting to believe that the real goal isn't becoming that perfectly disciplined person anymore. Instead, it's building enough trust within myself that I no longer have to live in constant cycles of pressure, collapse, shame. Oh, thank God I'm free. Maybe rebuilding doesn't have to feel like I'm forcing myself up a mountain or flying down it without any way to navigate safety. Maybe it can look more like moving forward in a way that my nervous system can stay intact. almost like I realized I don't actually dislike skiing. I don't think growth or discipline was ever actually the problem. I think the problem was how overwhelmed, unsafe, and out of control I was making myself feel. But now I'm learning I need to slow down, adjust my pace, and stay with myself through the process. And strangely enough, for the first time in a long time, that kind of growth actually feels possible. I'm feeling hopeful. So that's it for today, my friends. If you like this content, you want to hear more of my story and life lessons along the way, you can check out my other videos. I'll be posting new videos once a week. We'll see what I'm able to do. Just hit that subscribe button to be notified when the next one comes out. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know you were here and how you're doing. Okay? Until next time, friends. Take care. Be good to one another and be kind to yourself.